Alright.
Down later.
That's painful because I'm so close. You're right. You're super close. Alright. We have a game. We always have a game. But before the game, I forgot my question. Before the game, here's my question for you guys today. If you could be in any movie, book, or TV show, or just show, because most of them don't go to TV anymore, they just go straight to Netflix or something like that. If you could be in any movie, any show, any book, what movie, show, or book would you be in, and what character would you be? So, any show, TV, any show, movie, or book, and what character would you be? So while you guys are taking your time hearing that, we'll hear from these people. What about you, Kalina?
I don't know, it's hard. I've been back into Harry Potter recently.
Heck yeah.
So maybe Hermione. That'd be pretty cool.
Alright.
Yep.
Harry Potter, Hermione,
Mine.
Abby.
I would choose Moana, and I would be in Moana as Moana.
That's Moana.
Okay.
I mean, it's good clarification.
Yep.
You don't want to be Maui?
Hey, hey.
No.
No, okay.
That took me a second. I've only seen it once.
Alright, so we've got Hermione, Moana.
I think
Harry Potter, Hermione, Moana.
I would be Anne Shirley from Anne of Green Gables.
Oh.
I live in Avonlea. That place is sick.
And Mary Gilbert Blythe.
Yes. Would love that.
I used to be obsessed with Anne Green.
It's true.
I read there was like 9 books and I read them all.
I have them in my room still.
Mm-hmm.
That's awesome. What about you, Nathan?
I think I'd be in the Sandlot and Benny the Jet Rodriguez.
Ooh.
That's a good one.
Man, that's a really good one.
Yeah.
I was gonna say Sherlock Holmes, and I'd be Sherlock Holmes. So kind of the same thing as the Moana thing, because that would be pretty awesome. But then Nora took mine. She said Sherlock, and you said Mary Watson. That's what. Wait, would you marry Watson or would you be Mary Watson? Actually, they're the same thing. They're the same thing.
Not to be confused with Mary Poppins.
Kalina,
Yes,
the candy is for the
Nora.
kids.
Nora's reading Anne of Green Gables for the 5th time.
Mia said Riverdale or Up.
Riverdale.
Those are two
You wanna
very
die?
different options. That's awesome.
Up would be fun.
Up would be awesome. I would actually love to beat Up. That would be great. Russell in Up. That's.
Be Doug.
I can see
Troubles
that.
Ezra because of the good.
I would be
Whoa! What?
Iron Man.
Okay, but where
I
did
would
you
be
come
Iron
from?
Man. I would be Tony Stark.
Tony Stark. Iron Man.
That's so cool.
Russell in Up. Guardians of the Galaxy. Bill Dunn would be Groot.
Or
I am
Thor.
Groot.
I am Groot.
I am Groot.
Because you are. He literally has not seen any of them.
Nope.
Wow.
That's a good one.
Marvel?
Anne of Green Gables. I'm reading that for the 5th time. Star Wars Rebels as Ezra because I think he would do a better job fighting Darth Vader than he did.
Perfect.
Theo, I think you would do a better job fighting Darth Vader than Ezra did as well. So, what's up, Lynn? Mark? Man, I just called you Lynn. That's terrible. What's up? Matt, not Mark. Mark's your dad's name. Matt and Joe, Lynn, welcome. Welcome to the party. It's great. All right. Well, we have a couple announcements. First of all, we have birthdays. Cable, you want to read our birthdays tonight?
Okay. I'm sorry, I got some candy in my house.
Wow, way to rub it in. Like,
Candy,
they
yum.
can't have candy and...
Okay.
Lydia, you miss your head. You know where that's going?
Okay. So, I'm just gonna put this up here.
Oh my gosh.
Ew.
You can pass it to someone else. I was picking on you because I knew you put something in your mouth.
Okay.
I thought you were going to say no.
I'll just put that up there for now. Okay, so for birthdays,
You look like a beaver.
I wanna wish Isaiah Warren a happy birthday. His birthday was yesterday. Happy birthday, Isaiah Warren. And Owen Ulmer's is coming up in a couple of days, so happy birthday, Owen Ulmer. And Rachel Stockenberg. Rachel Stockenberg, happy birthday to you too.
Cable would also like to be in the Chronicles of Narnia as Mrs. Beaver. All right. So we have a fun game tonight. It is called Higher, Lower, or Correct is the other side of it. So here's what we're gonna do. We are going to read some.
Like wearing shorts.
Stop saying that.
We are going to read some facts, and you are going to guess if the true answer is higher, lower, or if that was correct. So for instance, you could say, Kalina has 10 strands of glitter in her hair right now. Higher, lower, or correct?
She
And
actually
what's the
has
answer?
glitter in
What's
her
it?
hair.
Yeah, come closer so they can see the glitter.
Let's see if I can find it.
Oh, it's all
There's
over
some
there.
right there.
Oh, you can kind of see it. Can you pull one? I don't want to touch your hair.
No, you're good. I can't find
I
it.
don't want to touch your hair.
Here, it's right here.
It's really hard to see. Anyway, it's glittery hair. So anyway, we would answer an answer like that. Nora says that answer is correct. Okay, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to put the questions on the screen, and you guys, you jokers, need to be able to read the questions. And then you guys will vote. There'll be an option to vote on the bottom. It'll say higher, lower, or correct. You cast your vote. The nice thing about this is it lets you get to know the leaders as well. Oh, one more thing. After we do this with all the leaders, we have a bunch of facts from the leaders, not just the ones here, but all of the leaders. After we do this with the leaders, I'm going to invite you guys to post them. So don't post them yet, but think about if you have a fact about yourself kind of like this.
Yeah.
All right.
Guys, I'm bringing some joy to them.
Oh, for sure.
I was so tired.
All right.
I
First
Hey guys,
one.
do you know that we predicted the future with this shirt? Like,
Yep.
it's not happening, and this is the shirt that says
This is
it's
the shirt.
almost.
Almost.
It is. It is.
I'm just
That's
saying.
true. It was the almost Olympics. I get that. All
Almost
right.
Olympics.
Who's going to read this one? Abby.
All right. Bill has hit a hole in one 3 times. Higher, lower, or correct?
A
Cast your
hole in
vote.
one 3 times. Is that basketball?
Golf.
Play Oh, golf. Golf.
I was like, they should not be able to see that. All right.
Bill
let's
has
see.
hit a hole in one
3 times.
thrice.
Times.
Did you say
1,
that?
2, 3 times.
Isn't that bowling when you get all the pins?
No, it's strikes.
Oh, it's strikes. Okay, yeah.
I said thrice.
No, that's baseball.
Uno, dos, tres.
All right, so far we have 27% think it's higher, 45% or 46% think it's lower, and around 30% think it's correct. All right.
Stuck on here. You're welcome.
All right, Bill
Just getting
Dunn
the
has
Twizzler.
hit a hole in one 3 times, higher, lower, or correct. All right.
What's
Publish
it
the
gonna
results.
be?
Publish the results in 3, 2, 1. You should be able to see that. It was correct.
Wow,
Bill! Wow, that's incredible.
We
Big
always
golfer.
knew you were amazing. Whoa, look at that swing.
Thank you.
All right, now
Is that correct?
Cable has been to Sweden 2 times.
What?
2 times. Higher
Ja,
or correct?
ja, me es Sweden
I
Sweden.
know.
und 2 times. I can't say some Swedish words. Starting now, Jordgubb. That means strawberry. It does.
They're all
Um,
thinking lower now.
If you say, "Goed mordu," you're saying "How are you?" If you say "Tusen tack," you're saying "1,000 thanks."
What about clogs? Did you buy
Tack
yourself?
sumiget.
And if you
Thank you very
say
much.
let it go, they kick you out of the country.
If you say "spring," it means run.
What about clogs? Did you buy clogs?
If you
You bought clogs?
if you
Clogs. Should have bought clogs.
what's the longer phrase that I have?
Oh, okay.
Maar goed, no. Dette dagen som Herren gjort, jag tar in glädje och tacka Gud.
What?
This is the day that the Lord has made. I will rejoice and be glad in it.
So you've been.
Oh, you want me to sing it? Dette
Alright. We're going to publish the results. Keep going, this is great.
Jag tar i glädje, jag tar i glädje och tacka
Is that
Gud.
Spanish?
Tacka
No.
Gud. Swedish! Detta dagen som Herren
Sweet
gjort.
Spanish.
Jag tar
Alright, publish the results now. Higher. 28% said higher. 50% said lower.
I don't
and
know why.
20% said correct. How many times have you been to Sweden?
Guys, I've been to Sweden thrice!
Thrice.
1, 2, 3 times on missions trips with my youth group when I was your age, or a little older.
Well, now we
I'm gonna read this one.
Next question.
Abby, she has drank 239 Starbucks coffees in her first year of college.
Beige beige, what do you think?
Beige.
Abby
Beige.
Beiger.
Correct.
239 Starbucks. Wait, I'm sorry. when was this number collected? 'Cause is that like today?
So,
Did you ask her to
this is-
today?
This was specifically in her, like, when she was on campus, and they had a
Okay.
Starbucks on campus.
Okay.
So the time she spent on campus, roughly 3/4 of a school year.
Oh,
Did she
baby.
drink more than 239, which would be higher, lower, or is that answer about correct?
Abby Bajer, let's think. What does caffeine do to one?
I think
Well-
Abby Bajer is the definition of what caffeine is.
Yeah.
It makes you crazy.
Anyone hear her singing today?
Lots of
Outside the
fun.
stage?
Outside.
Did you see her?
Is she here?
No, she was hammocking. She had like a microphone. She was like hammocking with like Faith O'Daniel and had like a microphone. And was, like,
Okay,
singing
so
hairstyles
let
and
this
shit.
be evidence to you as to the amount of coffee that Abby Bajer drinks on a consistent basis.
All right.
What do we
publishing
think
the
it
results
is?
Right
Publishing the results.
about now.
Okay,
Makes sense.
higher. How many? How many?
Abby claims to have drank probably closer to 330 cups of
Woo!
coffee.
That's so good.
Wow, one.
330. Guys, 3 is the number.
About
330.
One every day of the year.
Yeah.
Approximately.
Approximately 1.
Nathan, you want to read this one?
All right, Nate.
Yeah, I've played baseball for 11 years. Higher, lower, or correct?
I have a question for you. How old are you?
16.
16, folks. Do the math. What does that mean? How long has he been playing? If he has been playing for 11 years, how old was he when he started?
He was almost 17.
Yeah, I'm almost.
Oh, he's
17.
almost 17. When I ask you how old, a little
That's
bit
honest.
more accurate.
That's honest.
25 years?
Yeah,
All right, guys, what do you
25
think?
days.
What do you think it is? Let's see. Oh my gosh.
Oh my gosh, it's my face.
Scary. What do you think? Nathan has played baseball for 11 years. Guys, close your eyes for just a moment and picture a baby little Nathan
No, don't do that.
playing
Like
baseball.
a
A little T, like a little T, and he's like,
With a full head of hair, too.
yeah.
Oh yeah, I was
You're
born with a
coming
full head of
here.
hair. Like, that's so serious.
All right, publishing with the results in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
What's it gonna be?
Nathan, fill us in.
I've currently played for 13, but technically it's 14 almost because I started when I was 3. So
Wow,
Whoa.
you're getting a lot of love for that.
Whoa.
That's impressive.
Wow.
So you went that far
how
off with the
old were
baby
you
picture.
when you started playing?
3.
Wow.
Wow.
Little tyke playing.
I'm trying to
baseball.
picture how that would happen. That's
I put on the.
Oh, my nephew plays. He's like almost 3.
I played
Almost
t-ball.
3 and he plays baseball?
Yeah.
wow.
Yes, he's also can shoot basket. He's really
That's
good.
Livy's. That's Livy playing baseball.
Oh.
Can't picture that. Anyway,
Oh,
Yeah.
sports.
How
Did
about
you see
this
my
one?
Instagram post
I
with
did,
the
I did.
basketball thing?
how about this one?
Cable has had 6 concussions.
Sick.
Just use your brains.
Who's
This might
liking all
explain a lot of information about me.
All
and
those
how
trips
you-
to Sweden to see the neurologist.
All those trips to Sweden.
I was only
Vision
3
strips
though.
or special doctors for all the head injuries that I endured in my. Guys, if you're not getting injured, you're not living life to the fullest.
That's fair. What is happening?
Oh, who's doing
I'm trying to. Somebody is loving. Well, tell us one story. One story about a concussion.
One, there's so many. Okay,
Are there?
maybe the most
Maybe there's only
random
one.
story is washing my face in college, and then I had to sneeze, but I didn't want to pull away because my face was dripping water, and I went "Achoo!"
That is the
right on the
embarrassing
faucet,
way to go.
and I conked out, and my roommates found me on the floor.
That's all.
Oh
Wait,
my
I love that.
are you
That's
being
good.
serious?
100% serious.
Why
That
did you
is-
just wear sunglasses inside now?
One of my concussions.
Is she still sensitive to light from that?
Yes,
To
yes.
this day.
Okay, another concussion, bike rack on the trunk of our van. I got something out of the trunk and then closed the trunk and forgot that the bike rack was there.
Mhm.
So the bike rack
Oh.
hit me in the head. Again, passed out. Mom found me.
Was that the
Oh,
same
okay,
day?
got it.
Huh?
Same day?
No, no.
Same day as
These
the
are very
sneeze.
different
Is
times.
this-
Third one was basketball. Somebody went up after me for a rebound and they came down with their elbow on the top of my head.
Rough.
All
How many have
right,
I told you about?
publishing the results in 3, 2, 1.
Fell from a chicken farm. 1 story, 12 feet. Bam! Landed on my face. And last one was soccer. I got an awesome black eye.
I'm just kidding.
All right, so tell us, how many concussions have you had?
I've had 5
Oh.
serious concussions. 3 times blacked out, knocked out, whatever you want to call it. 1 time ended in a fracture of my zygomatic arch, and the other time that I didn't black out, I got a massive black eye.
Can you explain that really big word you just said?
Zygomatic arch is this part of your face, the bone. Feel it? That part shattered because I landed on it from 12-foot fall.
Why were you up 12 feet?
I was kicking out
George
a
Fellow
chicken
says-
cage.
George Fellow says that's taking the phrase "use your head" a little bit too far.
Bill said you're a spaz.
Bill said I'm a spaz.
Bill said you're a spaz. All right, now
I know
to
where you
follow up
live,
on
Bill.
this one, Cleanie, you want to read this next one?
Kalina has had 6 concussions.
Higher,
Let me
lower,
see you
or
in
correct?
She's got 7.
Okay,
Yeah.
what are you trying?
Concussion. Yeah, just keep trying.
So Kalina has had 6 concussions, higher, lower, or correct. Cable had 6 concussions,
5.
but it was actually lower. It was 5. So
Oh, that's a long.
that's a long what? Oh,
comment.
there's a long comment. Theo says, if it's a fight you want, it's a fight you'll get. I hope you brought a better class of soldier than these stormtroopers. They served their empire well, and I'm bringing okay, well, and I'm bringing a great many of them. You're gonna need all of them.
Got it.
That's right. That's right. All right. Higher. Wow, a lot of you are saying higher. Some of you are saying lower, and a couple of you are saying correct.
They were all embarrassing, I'll tell you.
Tell one
Saying
story. Tell
lower.
one story. Let's hear the best, most embarrassing. Can you top Cable's sink story? That's the real question.
I don't know. I mean, there was once where we have these like spinning bar stools at my counter, and I had just watched Toy Story, and I wanted to see Buzz Lightyear. I'm not joking. And so I took one into the middle of the room, and I climbed on top of it, and I tried to jump off and fly. But it's fun, and I just fell to the ground, and I hit my head on the stool. And then I'm not joking. 2 days later, I was sitting on that same stool, and I just fell off, and I hit my head on the vacuum, and I turned it on, and I got another concussion.
Wait, you turned the vacuum? All right, cool. Gonna publish that one, Cable.
Yep, did it already.
Publish the results. Higher. How many concussions have you had, Kalina?
I had 9.
9.
Woo!
Wow.
Yeah, tell them the top.
That's impressive.
Most of them were minor. I only passed out once. So.
Okay. And 3 of them were caused by your brother.
Yeah, Cal was 3.
True story. We don't make these up. All right. Ooh, the next one's I think mine, right?
Yeah, I don't know how to make it.
It
go
says
to that.
publish now. You see
Oh, I
it?
didn't
Right,
want to
there we go.
publish.
Boom. There we go. So okay, Adam Delaplane, that's me. I said Adam Delaplane because if I said Adam D, you might think it was Adam Davidson or me. But me, Adam Delaplane, owns 5 copies of Jurassic Park. Higher or lower?
Or correct.
You guys see Jurassic Park?
No.
Yeah, higher, lower, or correct. That's
Yes.
true. No?
Nick hasn't seen it.
One of the
Yeah, you've
best
seen-
soundtracks.
True.
It's up there.
I mean, it's John Williams, so you can't go wrong with the guy that did Star Wars, Harry Potter,
Rocketeer.
Jurassic Park. He did do the Rocketeer.
One of my
soundtrack.
favorite lines is
So
from
cool.
Jurassic Park, where the scientists are talking about, mosquito blood making dinosaurs.
Spoilers.
Yeah.
And
what? I haven't seen it
The
yet.
doctor said, "You're so busy thinking about whether or not you can do it, you never stop to think whether or not you should do it." Oh, powerful.
I need a leash. It's so good.
Scientist, not fine. Mathematician to be correct. But all right, 14% say higher, 13% say lower, 73% say correct. You want to publish those results?
I do.
It is actually higher, believe it or not. But I probably cheated a little bit because I own. Oh, actually, it's even more than I thought before. I own 2 copies of the book, one from when I was in 3rd grade, and then another from when I was in 8th grade. I own 1 VHS copy of the movie, which is somewhere in my parents' house. I own the DVD. Then I have all 3 of the original trilogy on Amazon that I own. And then I have 2 copies of the audiobook, and then 1 junior novelization. So that's 11. That's 11. Wow.
So many.
I feel sad. But it's an awesome story. You guys should check it out.
I don't think you can see it.
See, that's Jurassic World, though. It's not the same thing. All right, Bailey had to get her driver's license 2 times. 2 times. Bailey had to get her driver's license 2 times. Is that higher, lower, or correct? Do you think Bailey needed to get her driver's license more than twice? Did she get it twice?
Come on.
Our leaders are all leaving. All right, higher, lower, correct. Wow, everyone's saying lower. Guys, it's a trick question. Bailey doesn't even have her driver's license.
I should have drive. That's not true.
Bailey's 15.
Well,
She's
she might be
15.
driving. I'm not disputing that. I'm saying she doesn't have a license.
Oh,
All right, 60. Well, okay. 25 say higher, 6%.
hands like this.
This?
Now go like this.
Guys, this is just a travesty. This is a travesty.
Can't make that noise.
Bailey, if Bailey was here, this is the story she would tell. Apparently, she got her driver's license, and then when she was 18, she didn't realize it had expired, and 6 months went by, and then they were like, you have to get it again. So she had to take the test again. Now, here's the thing she didn't tell us, is how many times she had to take the driver's test to get the original license. So you can ask her about that in your next Zoom small group. So, all right, Lydia, you want to read this next one?
Heyo, Lydia. Yeah, which one? You know, the next one.
The next one.
Well, I can't. Well, I can't. Guys, she can't read. No, I just. No. Oh, wait, there it is. Oh!
No?
Okay.
Ooh.
Abby Hogue has 4
Great question.
Instagram accounts.
Oh.
Higher, lower, or correct.
You got something.
What would Abby Hogue post
Guys,
on
I
her
have
Instagram?
so much to post
Okay,
about.
Volleyball Hall of Fame.
She has her volleyball Hall of Fame
All
and
the volleyball
stuff.
stuff.
Yeah. Probably things that are blue and pink, her favorite colors.
Blue and pink.
Hallmark movies.
Kids that she
Hallmark
babysits.
movies and coffee. Those.
Coffee.
That's probably the 4 different Instagrams.
Oh, and then
Yeah.
just like her regular
Oh,
personal
Her
account.
personal stuff.
But wait, maybe
Ooh.
she has more because her personal, and then she's got nieces and nephews. There's probably a whole page dedicated to. I don't know, guys. There's like.
I
You
love
guys
yeah.
might not know this, but her sister has an Instagram account that has gone legitimately viral, like close to 30,000 followers.
And they have ducks.
Tell them why. Why is
They
tell
have-
them about this account.
They have baby ducks.
Yeah.
And the ducks went viral. So
The
everybody
ducks went
No.
viral.
apparently they make people feel calm and
Yes,
quarantine.
that doesn't mean the ducks
Now,
got
Abby,
a virus.
what
It means
sound
in the
does
virus
a duck
season,
make?
they went viral because people wanted something to take their mind off the virus, and apparently viral ducks does. I don't know.
Viral ducks.
What's so awkward?
I asked Abby what sound a duck makes, and she
Yeah.
said she doesn't know.
I did raise 3 ducks in college. You
She-
can order them. You
don't
can
know
order them. They're $45 shipping and handling and $5 a piece.
How do I ship them?
But like a farm can ship them to you. This is just a
How
public
do they
service
ship them?
announcement.
Announcement.
I was gonna let it go.
I will never let.
Oh.
You can order ducks to your house. How do
Yes.
you ship them?
How does that
Sharon Baca's dad's neighbor just
Whoa.
ordered ducks.
Yeah.
And I went and saw them and held them.
I ordered a duck last week. It's Peking, extra crispy.
Oh my
Oh,
That's
snap.
so terrible.
You know,
You get some
it's
cracker
Peking.
goods?
I'm a vegan.
She's a vegan.
Oh, we all know.
Quack, quack.
Wow, I like Jacob. I like those emojis. Those are great. What kind of ducks? What's the ad?
What's that?
What's
Your parents or your sister's Instagram. There we go. She got it. She'll get it. We'll get you.
Tallwood Country House.
Yeah. But hey, guys, want to check out those ducks? All right. So Abby Hogue has 4 Instagram accounts, higher or lower. The answer is. Did that post?
Yes, it did. It is lower.
It is
I
lower.
really,
She really
How many
doesn't.
Instagram accounts do you have?
I have one and I don't use
Yeah,
it.
I don't even know if I'd say she has one. The last
In
post
fact-
was 2 years ago.
I
Yeah,
posted
last
2 years
post was
ago.
2 years
Wait,
ago.
what's the username?
So oh.
You didn't even
Don't
have
say
it.
it.
I thought it was
No,
really
I don't have
asking.
Instagram.
I feel like you posted stories sometimes.
All right, this one we're gonna have Nathan read. This is an exciting one.
Bill hit for the cycle 4 times in high school.
What does it mean to hit for the cycle?
Okay, hitting for the cycle is
I mean,
a
I know.
single, a double, a triple, and a home run in the same game.
One more time for me.
Talking
Single.
football. Talking football.
No, basically. Single, double, triple, and home run.
So a single's when you get to first base.
Correct.
Okay.
Yep.
Then a double, you go
What's a
from
double?
first to second.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, second
You
base.
following? Okay, and
Yes.
then third base, you go first,
Triple.
second, triple.
Yeah.
You go to third base. Yeah, so first, second, and triple.
Yeah.
And then
First second.
For a second.
First second.
a single, double, triple. And then, guys, it's not a Ford. It's called home run.
Yeah.
And that's all the way around the diamond.
Yeah. Yeah.
We didn't actually touch.
Nope.
Okay, it's all around the diamond. Everybody's
that was great. Wow. Okay,
Yes,
Bill hit for the cycle 4 times in high school. Wow, you guys are all saying, everybody's saying higher. That's impressive. I mean, we know that Bill is an impressive athlete, but that's an
Considering the
impressive
hole in
feet.
one.
And they're saying,
What did Bill say about me?
All Bill's facts
Did he say I was-
are so athletic.
He said you were a spaz.
Oh, it's bad.
Bill, you're a spaz. You're just a crazy spaz. You
all
know?
right, we're publishing the results.
Lydia,
Boom,
like
right
this, I thought
now.
you were throwing me that ball.
The correct answer is 5. Bill Dunn hit for the cycle 5 times.
Wait, what did he
I don't even know how you do that. I don't even know how you do that.
Trying for it?
Guys, show
You
some
don't
respect.
actually just
accomplished it.
happened.
Yay.
Yeah, Bill.
Yeah, Bill, good job, Bill.
All right, George Feller. How many fountain pens does he own? That's the question, really. Is it 13? Okay. Now we gotta pause and time out for a hot second, because do you know what a fountain pen is?
No.
Okay, this kid didn't, because he's a baby boy
Yeah.
playing baseball. You know, when he was younger, he's not learning about fountain pens. So the question is, how many, fountain pens does George Feller have? 13 sounds like a lot, but
If you write
George-
with one every hour, you need one for every hour of the day.
yes, and then that extra in case you break one.
Yeah, so.
Aren't there there's 24 hours in the day, not 30.
Well,
but
but
you
most people
sleep.
don't work.
You sleep some of those hours.
If you sleep.
Yeah.
If you
Yeah,
sleep.
if you sleep.
Did you
George-
already describe
Oh,
it?
he's got one for his bird, Quackers.
Oh.
Quackers has also a fountain pen.
Did you already cover what a fountain pen is?
Actually,
Can you pull the photo? Can you put that on there? Probably not.
a photo of a fountain pen. So
I
the
tried.
ink, where does the ink, how do you get the ink for the
Is
fountain
it like a
pen?
fountain? Is it just like?
Is it a fountain? A fountain?
Is it a fountain?
So it's like,
Usually there's like
it's like
little
fondue.
cup.
You dip
Yeah.
your pen
Oh, okay.
Oh.
into the
Quill.
ink. With a quill!
well, okay, no. So if you watch Harry Potter or old movies or just like your history books, yes, there was the feathered quill, but the fountain pen is like a latter invention, not a ladder, a latter invention that
Later.
Later.
Places.
Follow me, what he's trying to
Yeah,
use.
later.
Sure, if you want to be
He's
uncouth,
just trying
you
to be
can say
smart.
later.
He's just trying to
All right,
smart.
everyone right now is saying pretty much that that's correct.
Ooh,
Nora, I
George.
saw your comment. I got off the table.
What is it?
She
They
said,
It
"Kalina
is-
just
it is
sit
in fact
on the
correct.
table."
All right, let's
Black,
go.
black.
I'll read the next.
Sorry, Jacob.
All right. Let's do this one.
Adam Davidson.
It's broken 4 bones.
Has broken.
Adam Davidson has broken
Keep
4
going.
bones.
Which bones?
Yeah, which bones are they?
We know.
Did you say?
Well, it depends. I mean, he did, but if I read them all, then we'll know the
Oh.
answer to the question. So.
What is
What if he's broken the
happening
same
in the
bone?
chat?
What if you?
All right, hang on. I'm gonna switch our Wi-Fi over since you're all complaining that
Lag.
it's lagging.
We're gonna get some new.
Oh,
I'm not allowed to put
Wi-Fi.
horsepower, so
No, you're not.
I don't forbid it.
I forbade it.
Yes. Forbid. Not. That's cute.
That's a carry.
Yeah, well, I'm trying to make it visible for our friends.
Wow. Okay, that's enough of
Unfortunately,
that.
that was not visible.
All right.
Abby Hope just went all volleyball Hall of Fame on his.
I was not ready for that.
Abby's like bump, bump,
All
split.
right, so publishing the results, and then also, how is the lag
okay.
doing now? We just switched over to a different Wi-Fi. Hopefully, it's not lagging anymore for you guys. Adam Davidson has broken 4 bones. The answer actually is lower. It's 3 bones. He broke. He broke both of the bones in his left wrist and one in his foot. Sadly, so sad for Adam. Sorry about that.
Broken bone.
Wait, Jacob, is it still lagging? Because we literally just
It's
switched
worse.
over. It's worse?
When you say lag 25 times, does
That
that mean
doesn't help.
Does that mean it's lagging? Or
No.
should we
No, no,
put
no.
It means it's perfect.
It's perfect.
It means it's going. It's in fast motion.
It's super fast.
We are lagging behind the sound.
It's not laughing anymore.
That's what I'm saying.
It's not
It's not
lagging
lagging
anymore.
anymore. Lagging.
Woo, it's not
I can't read.
Oh, okay. You know what that might have been? It might have been when I was switching over to a different Wi-Fi. All of a sudden, it got worse for like a second, and then it got better. Hopefully,
Oh, because
It's still
there's a
kind of
lag.
Bill Dunn, Adam Davidson is a spaz.
Oh,
All right, let's see here. Oh, we haven't used Lydia's fact yet. Lydia,
Do you want me to read mine? Okay.
I would love that.
I have been attending CPC for 9 years.
9 years.
I have a question for you. How old are you?
18.
18, folks. If we do the math.
She was 3.
We've been out of school too long.
So how old were you?
No, I'm not answering that question.
You know, higher.
How
higher.
long have you been attending Chesterfield?
6 years, folks.
Were you here when she started attending?
No.
Oh, okay. What about you, Nathan? How long have you been attending?
Since 6th grade, so 6 years.
So you were 3 years old.
Wow.
Hey, we started attending the same time.
How about you, Queen?
We didn't touch.
My whole life.
Your whole life? So 18 years?
So 18 years.
Wow.
18.
Abby, how about you?
I was baptized.
What?
How about
What?
Sorry.
What?
She just
Moana,
really
how
wants to
about
be
you?
Moana. Yeah.
Really want to.
Abby,
All
how long
right.
have you been at CPC?
Lydia!
Years.
Ah, 2
Yes.
years at CPC.
Correct answer for Lydia
C.
is
Higher.
Higher.
Oh, you were 13 years.
Yeah.
13 years!
Kindergarten.
Wow, that is impressive.
C.
Very
I was also
impressive.
baptized,
All right.
but I was 10.
Matt Whittaker, we haven't heard from Matt Whittaker yet. It says, the longest Matt has ever grown his beard was 9 inches. Now, think about that for just a moment. Don't just think of 9 inches as, an arbitrary number. That's like, I don't know.
What do you want?
Kalina, take your hair and put it.
It's pretty long. Now, those of you might know Matt as the guy that's like suavely
Like this?
close shaven.
See it?
But back in the day when he first got
Adam,
here,
how long is this?
Is that?
oh, is that?
Is
Put it
that
up under your mouth, yeah.
right? I did.
Uh-oh. Yeah, that's about 7 inches. That's about 7 inches. So that's how long Matt's beard would have been.
So think that. Oh,
I did.
it's
Right
a
there.
really still something.
It's a lemon head, or half of one.
Yeah.
When Matt first started attending here, he was almost escorted off of the CPC premises because he was sleeping in a hammock over the Hammock Hotel. And
now.
yes, and the kids thought, like the preschool kids, thought he was a homeless man because his beard was so big, and Matt just, was sleeping in this hammock.
That's so
So, all right, people are saying lower, some people are saying higher.
Is that
All right.
true?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
By Kushiguro is now.
Wait,
Mother-in-law.
I know.
That's funny.
That's so funny.
So-
That's small.
The longest Matt's beard was ever 9 inches. Actually, it's lower. He did say it was about 7 inches.
What's that called in movies? Like a meet cute?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Only with his mother-in-law.
Oh, someone took the last lemon head.
No, Adam has it in his hand.
I don't have my hand.
That's one you caught. Oh, it's right there.
All right, we have three more.
I'll eat it.
3 more. Bill Dunn played 2 high school football
What? He's
championships.
an athlete.
2 high school
Ew.
football championships. Higher, lower, or correct? What do you guys think?
I don't know. 'Cause- I don't know.
At this point, Bill can do
Wait,
anything.
Nora said-
I feel like Bill put
Billy-
in 4. He's just an
Yeah.
overachiever.
You probably did 4.
Just
He
for
might have been a
fun.
super
Just
senior.
for fun.
90-degree elbows.
Oh.
Here we go.
Oh.
That's good!
Okay, wait a minute. Can you guys hear us? If you can hear us, text that you can hear us, because Nora's saying they can't hear
Yeah,
us.
it's good.
If you can't hear us, then
Yep,
let us know.
I just know something about sports.
you did. That was good.
First time ever.
Oh.
1/2 of a football championship?
Did he black out for the other half?
Yeah, what?
No, he was hitting a single, double,
Triple and a home run.
around all the
What's it
all
called?
the.
Alright,
circuit,
the
cycle,
true answer
For the cycle.
The true answer is is lower. Bill Dunn's only played in one.
Disappointing.
One.
It's okay. No, it's fine. He has it.
He's good. He's good.
How many
He's good.
states?
That's a
Forget
lot
like off. He got 3 hole-in-ones.
All right, 2 remaining. Abby, will you read this one?
Abby has seen 25 Hallmark movies this year. What do you guys think? I can tell you the best one was Christmas Wishes and Mistletoe Kisses.
Oh my gosh. Let me guess. They all ended the same.
What's the same?
It's all the same
They all come back together.
That's so lame. Like
That's
they
how they
all
all are.
fall in love.
Well, yeah, but they're dating one guy or marrying one guy, and then they break up for this other guy that they remember from somewhere.
Yeah, that didn't happen.
That's a first.
That's not the diagram.
But they did end up together happily ever after.
That's every home.
And she was an interior designer, and
Of course.
he needed an interior designer for his business. And
Oh, yeah.
they
I think
just
that's
met.
wrong.
Then-
Tony Howard joined.
What up,
Tony
dog?
Howard joined. What?
Down dog.
Switch now. All right, I did just switch it. Okay. Sorry. I switched to a different Wi-Fi. We've got a lot of different options here. Switch to different Wi-Fi. That might work, but if it's not, I'm really sorry you guys can't hear us. Abby only watches Hallmark is what Bill Dunn says. All right. Abby has seen 25 Hallmark movies this year. Is that answer correct? Is it higher or is it lower?
Bill, I do not only watch Hallmark.
And actually, you know what?
She watches Moana.
Sometimes I watch Moana.
Disney
Oh,
Plus.
Sometimes. That one time. Now, here's the thing. This says the answer is correct. I actually think it's higher. I think Abby said closer to 30.
It's probably closer to 30.
Wait,
I
probably
mean, I
closer to
watched because they have a 25 special for Christmas, so like each
Wait, would
night
that have
there's a
been
new
last year,
Christmas
though?
movie. Oh yeah, Christmas was last year,
Oh.
2019.
So you haven't seen it like any year.
Well, we'll call it this academic year.
This academic year. Yeah, guys, you have to think Christmas, see, because they all come out in Christmas.
That's true.
Yeah. Christmas in July, they come back.
July's coming up.
Yeah.
Cinco de Mayo. Is there a Cinco de Mayo holiday?
No, spring.
There is-
All right, very last one. Out of respect for our teachers. I don't know why I crossed because they're not dead. But you don't get to see them all the time anymore. Out of respect for our teachers, Cable has been a teacher for 9 years. Higher, lower, or correct? Also, on a side note, I just switched over to the yet another Wi-Fi. I'm getting a smiley face from Nora, so that means that she can hear us, hopefully. If you can't hear us, man, I noticed the number of people watching it went from 25 down to 15 because probably you couldn't hear us because it was cutting in out and out so much. I'm very sorry about that. So, but hopefully you can hear us now. Cable has been teaching for 9 years. Correct, higher, or lower?
Thanks.
Correct, higher, or lower?
How many years have you been at Westminster?
Cable.
Or
Wow.
Was that your first place?
No.
Or did you choose someone else
No, I've
before?
taught 2 other places before Westminster.
Okay.
And I've been at Westminster for 6 years.
Wow.
Okay.
Because I remember you had Bruggy.
Gross.
Alright, the actual answer to that one, Cable has been a teacher for 9 years, is correct!
Yeah.
I'm ready to get Cable. Cable, come up here and tell us your best teaching story.
Teacher Appreciation Day right now.
Right now.
Right now.
Oh yeah!
I'd like to thank my mom and all those who helped put me through my own schooling. I'd like to thank, obviously, the number one in my life, God, for sustaining me and teaching me. He's the best teacher.
Give it up for Cable.
Lydia's making fun of me.
I'm not!
And yeah, that's those angry faces are for Lydia for making fun of her teacher,
On
Fred.
my biz.
Uh-oh.
Remember that one.
I'm gonna take a picture of those.
Why the angry faces? Now
I don't know
we're
why they give
confused.
you angry faces.
Now we're confused. Jacob. Jingle
Alright, sorry, I'm trying to get rid of the polls so that there we go, alright.
Yeah.
Not perfect at all, it's good. Alright, well, I'm sorry, for some of you the live stream's working, for others of you it's not. Sorry about that. Well, we had a lot of stuff going on with our Wi-Fi last week, and I guess it's still going on. Anyway, okay, so Nora wants to know, are we done with the leaders now? Is that Nora's question? Are we done with the leader? Happy Teacher Appreciation Week, Cabes. Aw.
Okay.
Mia says I still can't hear anything.
No.
I'm sorry. If you can't hear anything, you might want to try. You can't even hear me saying that. So
Turn the volume up.
They can't see your face.
Turn the volume. Turn that up.
You.
U-M-E. Students may yourself.
Yes. It's like half a semester.
That's a good idea.
Online.
if you can't hear anything, or if it's lagging, you can try refreshing your web browser. All right. Here's the question for you guys, and actually, Abby, if you want to type this in the comments, that would be great. Give us a fact about yourself. So I have lost, 5 teeth, permanent ones, something like that. Just anything like that, and we will guess higher or lower. This is your turn. Give us some facts, higher or lower. Nora has consumed 250 pieces of candy this week. Something like that. Something like that. Anything like that.
Oh, I didn't.
Wow. What
Sorry.
just hit.
I
There
thought
we
it was
go.
the send button, but it was the end button.
Jacob Rainheim.
I've had trouble with
Lag.
this.
Okay.
And now
Mia says it's working better now. If you guys can't hear, get an aid the live and join again. Yeah, that helped me when I couldn't hear anything. Thank you. All right, yes, Nora, you can go first. Nora, share with us your most interesting fact. Man, guys, you need to focus over here. I don't even know what's going on behind me. This is crazy. All right, Nora, let's hear your... Nora says, I have 20 grains of cheese on my tortilla.
you counted that.
All right, what do you guys think?
Happy Cinco de Mayo!
What do you guys think?
I say higher.
20 grains
Higher.
of cheese.
What kind
Higher.
of cheese?
Oh, that's
Higher.
what kind of cheese?
Higher.
I don't know what grains of
Tortilla.
cheese are.
I don't either.
What's grains of cheese? You mean
Oh,
like
shredded
shredded?
It's metric. It's the metric system.
It's Parmesan cheese. It's grated
Nora,
Parmesan.
count them specifically. Don't let us down.
It's
Yeah.
Parmesan?
Oh, Parmesan.
That's what I just said.
All right, I'm gonna say lower. All
I'm gonna
right.
say higher.
Higher. Okay. What
I
is
know
it?
this girl likes her cheese.
What is it, Nora?
Tell us, girl.
All right, and then also while we're waiting for Nora to respond, where is it? Mia says I have been to 5 states in 2 weeks. 5 states in 2 weeks.
I think that's right.
I think that's right.
I do too.
Do you count like passing through them or like?
She's an athletic one. She could travel for some sports
Shredded
thing.
cheese.
Shredded cheese. That's true. Mia's an athlete. She could travel.
Traveling,
So,
maybe that you.
We're
went
all
to
saying
those
we're all
states?
saying correct. Mia, is that correct?
Mia,
Higher
we
or
think
lower?
yeah, 5.
And the answer was for Nora. Higher or lower?
Higher. It's totally higher. Higher. Eat
Drum roll, please.
Higher.
50 seconds away. She can't hit the drum roll yet. Our thighs are killing us. All right, now she's just drawing out to be spiteful. How many hours does it take?
Keep drum rolling.
This is a really weak drum roll now. 7
7
grains of cheese.
cheese.
I was right because candy. I was right because candy. I was right because of candy. All right. I just consumed a nacho platter with 10 ounces of hot sauce.
Lower.
No,
Lower.
I feel like that's definitely higher.
I think, higher.
Lower.
10 ounces
I
of
think
hot sauce?
lower.
Jacob's kind of a small dude. Like,
He's
I
not
think
flattered
10 ounces
though.
would knock him out.
I like lower.
Stormtrooper, I'll let you know what happens.
I think it was lower,
I think it's
Jacob.
lower.
All right, we say lower than 10.
Whoa, Mia, 7.
7? Wow!
I believe
crazy.
it. Mia,
Okay,
was
that-
it because of sports? Why were
Put
you
that
in these
on
7 states? I'm interested to hear.
Yeah, 7 states, that's impressive. Okay, Jacob says consume 10 ounces of hot sauce. All right, what's our
No,
collective
lower.
answer? No, we're saying
Lower.
lower. We're all saying lower. All
That's
right,
way too much hot sauce.
lower. But yeah, Mia, tell us more about these states. Oh my gosh. Caleb says higher.
Bill done. Bill, you're a spaz. You're a spaz. It was.
It was.
Oh my God. It was lower. I know it.
Oh, I thought you actually saw it. We
No, I
haven't seen
didn't
it
see
yet.
it. I'm just guessing.
It was.
Jacob.
7 grains of cheese!
Yay! Jacob.
We're still waiting.
Oh, so wait. Mark Lynn, my baby brother, has watched Benchwarmers. That's a great movie. That one he's seen.
7 ounces.
That one he's seen.
I knew it.
7 ounces.
Lower. I'm a winner.
Why isn't Cable?
Why isn't Cable drum rolling? The real question is why are we spelling her name with a C?
Oh.
Nora.
All break from 18.
I thought we were friends.
For 2018, we went to a lot of northeastern states for tourism purposes. Wait, when you say tourism purposes, like what does that mean? Just
They
like
can see her.
All the drum rolls and everything.
they're like it's the raptor. Tourism purposes.
That's funny.
Tim Dorsch, which wait,
And or
is this Caleb or Charlie? Or both of you, it's fine. All right.
China 4 times.
Been to China 4 times.
I'm gonna China. Konnichiwa. No, that's Japanese.
Wow. Wow.
What's
We're
Chinese?
getting shut down for that one.
What-
Chinese is a language.
Ni hao.
Ni hao.
Ni hao.
Oh,
Ni hao. I got my Asian languages mixed up. I'm
John
sorry.
Randheim,
Oh
see?
my gosh.
All right.
You're asking
I've been to China 4 times.
Oops.
I'm gonna say that's correct.
No, lower.
I'm gonna say that's correct.
not what you get.
That's correct.
what you
I think it's lower.
That's what she,
Oh, Nora. So
You're gonna say
spiteful.
lower? Lower? Okay.
I'm gonna say
What is it?
correct.
Drum roll.
You can't.
Hey, Val.
That was beautiful. That
You
was
can't-
beautiful.
you can't
That's a new
drum
spelling of
roll.
K-Ball's name. All right, it's Charlie. Charlie's been there 4 times. Correct. Lower, higher. This is tediously painful. Taking
Go
forever.
What is it?
This is why Justin has a soundboard. We went to a lot of famous places, and I saw someone sitting on the Albert Einstein statue's head.
That's awesome.
Wait, he just
That sounds
that's
disrespectful.
Wow.
That's so disrespectful. I think it's gonna
Oh,
Three
three
Three.
times. Three
Yeah,
times.
nice.
Okay, all
But
right,
still,
all right,
China,
all right.
come on.
correct, or was that lower?
Lower.
What?
All right. We have time for one more. If there's one more person that wants to do that, send us a fact, and then we'll wrap up with the rest of what we have for tonight. In your opinion, is there really a light and dark side of the force? Yes, there is, of course. Mark Lynn. Well, okay. Wait, is this Matt or is this Joe Lynn? That's a great question to ask. Oh, wait, we've got 2 of them. All
I know.
right. So Matt or Joe Lynn, maybe both of them. Three have been to Disney World 8 times. Higher or lower?
Well,
Lower.
Lower.
higher.
Wait, no, I'm
I
saying
say
it's correct.
correct.
I'm gonna say correct
Like
on that
every
one as well.
time.
So we're gonna
Oh,
say
I forgot about
correct
correct.
on the Disney World. Caroline Alcorn has been to Hawaii 3 times.
Oh,
Abby.
wish.
Jealous.
3 times?
It's
I think
correct.
Moana, what do you think?
Higher. I think Caroline, you've been there more.
Yeah.
Oh, saying higher. Okay, all right. And then
Shut.
Joe. It's Joe Lynn. Awesome. Cheyenne says this is my 3rd year of club volleyball. So more than 3 or correct or less?
That's
What do you think? Higher?
Higher.
I'm gonna say higher on that one too.
What does our volleyball all-star say?
Hall of Famer.
Correct.
Okay.
I think 3 years.
You don't think more?
I think 3.
Okay.
She thinks
She
3.
thinks three.
Think
Three.
3.
Okay. So let's see
Very
here.
funny.
John Rain, they're all talking about the duct tape. They're all talking about the duct tape. All right. Joe Lynn, how many times have you been to Disney World? Caroline Alcorn, how many times have you been to Hawaii? And then Cheyenne, how many years have you played club volleyball? Let's hear it. We're just drum rolling for all of them.
Snaps. All the sounds.
Oh wait, yeah.
Those are really hurting my legs.
Or you can do the is the what is it, guys?
Oh, Caroline's been 1.
Only
Oh!
Me too, Caroline. Me too.
She's just naturally hit 9 times!
Woo!
Wow!
Woo!
Alright,
Joe
that's
can do
impressive.
it.
That's
I've
impressive.
never been.
That's
You've been
impressive.
for me. That's amazing.
It's true.
We got one
All
more, right?
We got
How
one
long?
more. Cheyenne, how many years of club volleyball?
Drum rolls don't have to be on your legs.
Oh.
Justin
Justin.
Hedgejoy, what's up, Justin?
That is the drum roll.
Beautiful. All right, we're waiting on Cheyenne to respond with how many years she has played club volleyball. We all said she said 3. Abby's thinking 2.
No,
I said
3.
3.
Oh, Abby said 3.
Abby thinks 3.
I
We're thinking 4. I looked over. I just said
higher.
9 times. Like 9? No. Maybe we lost Cheyenne. All right. Well, Cheyenne, you can let us know
Fill us in.
later on, either via text or something like that. All right. We've got one more thing for tonight. Everybody, walks away, which is great. No, everyone. But I had to walk and get my Bible, like everyone was. Oh wait, this is my 2nd year. I've been playing volleyball for 4 years, but didn't try club until 2 years ago. All right, that's great though. I mean, we all, figured that it was more because you're just an awesome athlete. So, all right. Oh wait, my brother Luke has watched bench warmers 67 plus times.
Are you serious? That is so many.
That's awesome. That's awesome. All right, so last week, well, I'm gonna pray, and then we'll talk a little bit about the Bible, and then we'll send you guys off in just a moment. So, dear Jesus, thank you for these guys and girls. Lord, we just pray that in the coming weeks we would be able to figure out all these technical glitches that make things slow down and hard to hear and just make this difficult. Lord, but we pray that you would be in this anyway, that we would enjoy this time together and be drawn closer to you through this time. So last week we talked, man, I'm so tempted to say, who remembers what we talked about last week? Or, get these interactive questions, but I can't see your guys' faces. I did get a text from at least one parent saying, I wish you could see my son or daughter, I don't want to give the person away. I wish you could see their face because they're so excited and intense on Facebook. So that just makes me happy to know that you guys are really locking in on what we're doing. But last week we talked about Psalm 3. We talked about this idea of, is it okay to be angry with God? Is it okay to yell, to be upset? Is it okay to be upset with God and to let him know that? And I think it's easy growing up in the church to maybe feel like we have to always be really respectful of God and that we can't just pour out our thoughts and emotions on it. But last week we talked about this idea of how God, not that God wants us to be angry with him, but in Scripture, God seems to allow us, because we are finite and he is infinite, he allows us to be upset at times and even to let him know, I don't understand what's going on. This is making me really angry. And God doesn't just go, hey, that's disrespectful. No, he actually enters into that and often encourages us and shows us who he is. So I was thinking about this psalm. It's Psalm 73. This is something that I was thinking about after last week. And the first thing that it says is, truly God is good to Israel, to those who are pure in heart. But as for me, my feet had almost stumbled. My steps had nearly slipped, for I was envious of the arrogant when I saw the prosperity of the wicked. And here's the thing. The psalmist, the psalmist goes on and he basically describes over and over again all the wicked people, all the evil people, the people that don't follow God. They're doing whatever they want. They say they're fat, which means they're well fed. Doesn't mean they're like fat. It just means that, hey, they're getting all the food they want. They're not getting in trouble. They say whatever they want. They do whatever they want. They take whatever they want. They get whatever they want, and everything seems to go their way. And the psalmist is saying, why is that happening? I am doing the right thing. They are not. And yet, they're getting whatever they want. They're getting away with it. And he's saying, I'm envious of this. I don't know what's going on. He's like, I'm jealous. This makes me think right now, we're doing a lot of outside time. We're doing a lot of, we're just watching movies, playing games, doing activities. And my 4-year-old son, Blaze, he likes to say, hey, no fair. That's like his favorite phrase to say right now. Hey, no fair. And so it'll be sometimes like, hey, no fair that Stark got a cookie. And you're like, you have a cookie too, it's on your plate. Oh. Or he'll be like, hey, the funniest one was, hey, no fair that Livy gets to wear a dress. And so then he asked if there was like a bigger size dress that he could wear. And there was, and so he wore it for, a whole day. And he might still wear it periodically, I don't know. Sometimes he's like, hey, no fair. Like every day I feel like there's a new, hey, no fair. And also, that made me think of when I think it was the summer after 2nd grade, this movie named Batman Returns had come out. It was the new Batman movie. Very dark, pretty graphic movie. I don't even think it's acceptable for you guys right now. But for some reason, one of my 2nd grade friends in 2nd grade, had this birthday party where they were all going to go watch the movie. People are laughing at me. They're all going to go watch the movie, and my parents were like, you cannot go see that movie. It's rated PG-13, and it's not appropriate for you. And I was mad. I said, no fair. No fair that all my friends get to see this Batman movie and I don't. You guys probably have a list like that, right? No fair that this person gets to do that. No fair that that person has a cell phone and I don't. No fair that that person has an Instagram account or TikTok account. No fair that that person has that thing that I don't get. Or even right now, man, a bunch of you might be saying, no fair. Some of you are saying, no fair that we don't to go to school anymore. Some of you aren't saying that. Some of you are saying, no fair that we don't get an 8th grade graduation. So you're saying, no fair that I don't get to see my friends all the time. There's a lot of things we can look around and say, hey, that's not fair. When do you guys click the comments? Because I can't see what's coming in. And what this psalmist is basically saying is, there are going to be times where you look around you and say, that's not fair. That's not fair. What's going on? Why are these evil people getting whatever they want? Well, here's what happens. Here's the thing. I love this turning point. Because remember last week we talked about sometimes we pour out our heart to God, and there's a turning point in that. And this is what he said. He said, nevertheless, I am with you always. You hold my right hand. You guide me with your counsel. And afterwards, you will receive me to glory. You will receive me to heaven. And then he says, who have I in heaven but you? And there is nothing on earth that I desire except you. That's when I read that sometimes I'm like, wait, really? The person that wrote this is like, I don't want anything except God. That would be awesome. I often say that hoping that it's true, but there's often other things that I want a lot. Sometimes we write things because we're like, this is true in this moment, or we're saying, I want this to be true. I'm saying it over and over again because, God, I want this to be true of me. But here's the other thing. The psalmist then says, my heart and my flesh, they fail, but God is the strength of my heart forever. For behold, those who are far off from you shall perish. You will put an end to everyone who is unfaithful to you. Now, he's not saying, those evil people, they're going to get what they deserve in your face. No, he's more just saying, hey, I am realizing that it's better to be with you because there is life here and eventually there is death apart from you. The last thing he says is, but for me, it is good to be near God. I have made the Lord my refuge, my safety, my shelter, that I may tell all of your works. Guys, here's what I want to leave you with. Right now in this moment, there's a lot of things that seem unfair. There's a lot of reasons we can look around and say, hey, no fair. Hey, that's not cool. I wish this didn't have to happen. Why don't I get to play sports this summer? Why don't I get to have an 8th grade graduation? Why don't we get to go to the Edge? Why don't we get all of these things? And just like we talked about last week, God is saying it's okay for you to pour those out to him. But the hope that we're reminded about in Psalm 73 is that God is with us, that God is holding us close to him, and that God is saying, I've got you, not just in this moment, but forever. Because of Jesus Christ coming and dying for us, God is saying, hey, you can know for certain that you will be with me in heaven for eternity, that we will be together, and that is greater than anything in this moment that we might be missing. So, encourage you guys to think about that some more. Do you believe in Jesus? Are you trusting in Jesus? Is the promise of eternal life something that is sweeter in this moment than even some of the things we're missing, even though those are really hard, even though it does seem very unfair? And lastly, just kind of like we said last week, I want to encourage you guys, take your thoughts, take your feelings, take your emotions to God. He is happy to hear all of those things, not just a very, reverent, hey, God, this is, well, hey doesn't sound very reverent, I guess, but not a prayer where you're just talking and like, here's some things that are on my mind, here you go. No, God wants you to just come to him and just pour out, here's what I'm thinking, here's where I'm at, this doesn't make sense. What's going on? Can you help me? God loves that. So I'd encourage you, do that tonight, do that tomorrow. In your small groups this week, take some time to think more about that, talk more about that. All right. Theo, I miss you too, man. I'm glad we get to hang out when we do small groups. So I think that's about it. Crash Leaders, you're going to come back up. We'll say goodbye. I'm sorry about the internet. We will try to get that sorted out to make this possible and better. But we love you guys so much. What are we to say?
Cinco de Mayo.
Cinco de Mayo. All right, Cinco de Mayo. 1, 2, 3.
Cinco
de Mayo! And lots of cheese on your tortilla.
Yes.
Tortilla!
How many shredded cheese?
7
7 grains.
Bye!